Here's a benchmark, a Coast and Geodetic Survey benchmark giving you accurate elevation, established in 1955.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
You're going to be on YouTube.
Awesome.
Where are you hiking from?
We came from Vasquez.
Vasquez? Oh, from Vasquez Rocks, yeah. Well, here's a little gully that's carved into bedrock here. I'm going to stop here for a second and discuss some of the bedrock geology. Notice the rock you're looking at here. You have in between you have some, this is like some pink sandstone here, and notice for instance this chunk of rock that's embedded in this pink sandstone. Okay, this is what you would call a clast. A clast is any particle of rock that's loose that maybe gets cemented into bedrock later on in time. Notice how these larger particles are kind of angular in shape. Even these smaller ones here, kind of angular. So you have these particles that are embedded in this finer sandstone matrix. So this type of rock is called a breccia. All right, and this particular breccia is part of what's called the Vasquez Formation, a mixture of different types of rocks, some volcanic, some sedimentary. All of them date to about the Oligocene period, the Oligocene to early Miocene. So they're tertiary age rocks. The Oligocene period is about 35 to 25 million years ago. And these individual clasts, this light colored rock here is perhaps some albite, and this is some granitic type rock, or maybe some diorite. These are types of metamorphic rocks and igneous rocks that are present to the south in the San Gabriel Mountains. Okay, so these at one time, as the San Gabriel Mountains were being lifted up along faults, at the same time they were being worn down, and so a lot of these coarse angular particles were weathered off of the San Gabriel Mountains, the young San Gabriel Mountains, and trundled down slope either by gravity or by flowing water, probably not too far by flowing water, or perhaps as landslide deposits, and then solidified over time. Okay, so this is a fantastic exposure of a breccia rock. Now, if these particles were rounded, and here you have some somewhat rounded particles, but most of them are kind of angular. But if they're all rounded, all the particles are rounded, then they would call that a conglomerate rock. And here's the geologic map of this area. We're somewhere around right here. For this particular map, this purple color indicates some anorthosite, the basement rocks, the very old rocks that are about 1 billion years old or so, that form the San Gabriel Mountains. And here you can see what's called the Pole Canyon Fault that separates these very old rocks from these younger Miocene rocks. The green colors here are the Oligocene and Miocene rocks, the Vasquez Formation, which is right about where I am now. Or somewhere around here, which are Vasquez Formation. Here's some close-up shots of this breccia formation. Notice these very angular fragments. That's the characteristic of breccia, and notice also that it's in between these larger angular fragments you have this sandstone. That's what's referred to as the matrix. So angular pebbles and cobbles inside of a sandstone matrix. You coming from Vasquez Rocks?
Yeah.
You're doing a through hike?
Yeah.
Nice.
10 o'clock.
Oh wow. Uh-huh.
I went over, now I'm on my way back.
Oh, you already went there and you're on your way back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, parked down there.
Uh-huh. Wow. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I met some guys earlier. They had 2 cars and they're, you know, doing the through hike.
All right. Yeah. It's a butt kicker, we tell you.
Okay.
Have fun.
All right. Take care. Here we have some more of the Vasquez Formation breccia. Notice here off to the side you have this little chute here. This obviously with the staining here, this staining here, that's a waterfall when you get enough rain and there's water flowing in that channel. Okay, this is normally a pretty dry environment most of the year. In the wintertime when we get a nice rain, you'll have a stream there.